All right, Donna, you ready? Yes. All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 3745, State of Texas versus Joseph Dale Harris. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan and Daniel Escobar, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Whenever this passes. It's everyone cheats here.
All right, and are you Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, you want to already have your witness on this stand?
I can go get it.
Sit down. What are you afraid?
We know who really is.
All right, Deputy Laura, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
The state calls Mark Machado.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so the persons in the jury can hear and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record and spell it, please.
My name is Mark Machado, Marcmachado.
State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Machado, I guess it's Mr. now.
Yes, sir.
Are you retired currently?
Yes, sir. I'm retired from SAPD as a crime scene investigator. Actually, tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary
So 1 year
for retirement. Yes, sir.
brought you out of retirement.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Well, I'll try to jump right in. Can you just tell the jury briefly what type of training and type of experience that you had to go through to become a crime scene investigator?
I was actually in the very first class of crime scene investigators. And we have to go through, it's like a 3-month school to learn how to collect, process evidence and learn the laws, whether to have the right to be at a place, meaning a warrant or you don't just go around, pick up stuff. You have to know the laws on what to do and how to do it and how to collect it.
And did you go through certain type of other training? Well, how long were you on SAPD?
I was a SAPD crime scene investigator for 25 years. Prior to that, I was a parole officer for 10 years. So 35 total in my retirement.
All right. Well, I think you're qualified, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in and why you're here today.
Yes, sir.
Were you dispatched to a scene on February 28, 2022?
Yes, sir, I was.
And I see that you're looking at something right now. Can you tell the jury what you're looking at?
It's a copy of my report. It was dated February 28th, 2022.
Okay. And I mean, please, you can refer to it if you need to refresh your memory, but please just don't read directly from it.
No,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank you. Now on that report, what were you, when you arrived at the scene, well, what type of scene was it?
At the time, it was an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, meaning a shooting downtown. I worked the downtown area and it was off of St. Mary's Street at a bus stop.
Okay. And so did you make it to that scene?
Yes, sir.
And what were your duties at the scene?
To photograph and collect the items of evidence. Since I worked downtown, I was probably one of the first ones there. So immediately I'm going to take pictures before anything gets disturbed and then mark the evidence and collect the evidence. And then my backup will help out by videotaping, sketching, et cetera, assisting me. But being the first one there, you want to pretty much try to capture the scene as it is upon my arrival.
And so when you did arrive at this scene, what did you take? What responsibilities did you actually take?
I collected the items of evidence and I photographed the scene.
And photographs, let me approach you here and ask you, hand you what's been marked exhibit number 10 through 31. And you can take that tab off if you like. If you can just go through those and tell me if you are familiar with it.
Yes, sir. These are the photograph from the actual scene.
Okay. All right, let me just go through this real quick. So these are, I'm sorry, did you state that these are the photos that you took of the scene?
Yes, sir.
And is it fairly and accurately represent the scene of that day on February 28, 2022?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Judge, we're going to tender to defense. We're asked to enter state exhibit number 10 through 31. We'll tender to defense for any objections.
A moment, Judge.
Yes.
If I may, Judge,
Yes.
states exhibit, numbers 10 through 31, defense has no objections.
All right. States exhibits 10 through 31 is admitted without objection.
And Judge, may I publish? the
Yes.
On the overhead projector?
Yes.
I'm going to show you, first of all, Mr. Machado, I'm not going to show you every single one of these right now, but you already looked at them. But I'm going to go over just an overview of the crime scene. So state exhibit number 10 is what I'm popping up on the overhead here. And can you just tell the jury what we're looking at here?
That's where the actual victim was. There's casings there, all those numbers. It's hard to tell with the focus, but there's a bunch of numbers crime scene evidence numbers and a backpack. There's some blood and a weapon on the right side of the tree.
And so you're saying the right side of the tree, this portion here?
Yes, sir. And then to the further right, you can see some blood and headphones. Yes, sir, right there.
Okay, so those are headphones. and
Yes, sir.
blood.
Yes.
And then. This is at a different, looks like a different angle, state exhibit number 12. Oop. What is that a view of?
That's a view of St. Mary Street facing towards Market. Like just the same shot. The other shot was across the street. Now I'm going down St. Mary's. That would probably be facing east, I guess, or
And then I'm asking you, I see like this is a yellow placard with the number 12 on there. What are these?
shell casings.
Those are shell casings?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you collected a shell casing at the scene?
Yes, sir. I collect shell casings.
How many shell casings did you actually collect?
Can I look at my report? I know there's a bunch of them. Let's say 16.
16?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I know that from your report, were they listed as E1, E2, or were they sort of different numbers?
Yes, sir. They were listed as E1, E3, E4, and then E6 through E18.
Okay, so they didn't go in sequential order.
Correct. Because like as we're collecting, we might find some other evidence that we marked right away, you know, just so we don't lose that item, you know, rather than go back. So we see something, we'll put a placard down numerically.
So on this 12 would be a shell casing, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then 13, what was that?
13 should be a shell casing.
And then it looks like number 10 here. What is that?
10 should be a shell casing.
What about number 9?
Shell casing.
And then it's just sort of hard to see there. I think right here is number 8.
Yes, sir. Shell casing.
Okay. Let me move to state exhibit number 14. Now, is this the same directional view as the last picture?
Yes, sir.
But it looks like it's a different, well, what is it, a different angle or?
That's on the sidewalk. The other one was, I was in the street
Okay.
photographing. Now I'm on the sidewalk.
And then I guess this is placard number 12 over here.
Yes, sir.
And then what was number 14?
The shell casing
That was also a shell case?
on the sidewalk. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm going to show you what's state exhibit number 17. And actually, I'm going to ask you placard number 17. What was that right there?
Shell casing.
And placard number 11 right here. What was that?
Shell casing as well.
All right. State exhibit number 18. What looks like 15. What was that?
That was a shell casing.
Number 6. What was that?
Shell casing.
Then on state exhibit number 19. I think we went over 17 already.
Yes,
What
sir.
about number 11?
A shell casing.
What about number 7?
Shell casing.
What about number 9?
Shell casing.
And I believe we went over 8, but what was 8?
It was a shell casing as well.
State exhibit number 20. See number 18 there, what was that?
Yes, sir. It was a shell casing.
And number 21. What about number 16 there?
16 was also a shell casing.
In the back here, I see that there's a state exhibit number 22. And then there's a number 2 back here. What was that?
Number 2 was a shell casing.
Was it showcasing?
Number 2,
For your report, please.
oh, I'm sorry, spent bullets.
Spent bullet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I see that, item number 19. What is that?
It was a Glock 48 9mm handgun.
Okay, and it was the backpack. What was that included as?
The backpack was also collected as 19 blue JanSport backpack.
And were there other items in that backpack?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you what's marked state exhibit number 23. And I see that number 3 is back here. What was that?
That was a shell casing.
State exhibit number 24. This right here, I can't really read it, but it's my eyesight. But what are those? I think you stated earlier in testimony, those were headphones.
Headphones, yes, sir.
And were those marked as an item of collection?
Yes, sir. Let's see. E5,
Five.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
And then again, this is state exhibit number 25. Sort of a zoomed in portion here,
Yes, sir.
but that's what the backpack is E19.
Yes, sir.
With the collection of a firearm and other items. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And number 1 is a,
Shell casing.
okay. Item number, I'm sorry, state exhibit number 26. I see that on this backpack, again, it's zoomed in. What is this thing back here?
It had an ID on it, like to the owner of the backpack.
Okay. Exhibit number 28.
Closer shot of it. ID belonging to Isaiah Orozco.
Thank you. Also going to show you what's been marked state exhibit number 30. What is that? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the firearm that I collected.
And then state exhibit number 12, and that has the serial number that everybody can read on there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Does that correlate with what you have in your report?
Yes, sir, it does.
Thank you. I want to show you also what's been marked state exhibit number, previously marked state exhibit number 4 and number 5. You recognize those photos?
Yes, sir.
What are those? Well, did you take those photos?
Yes, sir.
And were those photos from the scene that day?
Not at the scene, but after in the processing room where we take our extra photographs to do close-ups and stuff.
And does this
But-
fairly and accurately represent what it purports to be?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What I offered to, or state offered state exhibit number 4 and number 5, and we'll tender to defense for any objections.
No objections.
Right, States exhibits 4 and 5 are admitted without objection.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
Just briefly, state exhibit number 4 is roughly the same picture as previously stated for the previous state exhibit. And then state exhibit number 5, is that just a reverse photo?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Also have what's marked state exhibit number 32 to 48. Can you briefly go through those and tell me if you can recognize those?
Yes, sir. These are photographs I took, mainly close-ups of all the markers y'all saw. These are actually close-ups where you can actually see the shell casings or spent bullets, the items of evidence I collected.
And these are from that scene, from that day,
Yes, sir.
and you took them yourself.
Yes, sir.
All for state exhibit number 32 through 48. We'll tender to defense for any objections.
You may proceed.
The defense have no objections to state's exhibit number 32 through 48.
All right, states exhibit 32 through 48 are admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just understood.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Machado, it looks like you brought some items in here to court today.
Yes, sir.
Let's begin with E1.
E1 would be, E1A would be the shell casings.
And actually, this has been opened before. One,
Yes.
can you tell me about the packaging? Do you recognize any familiar remarks on there?
Yes, we put our label and I put an evidence tag with my initials, Mark Machado. I put M squared with my badge number. So all my packages will have M squared with my badge number. And you can see it, that I'm the one that sealed it.
And if you can just go ahead and get some room up there.
Yes, sir.
Can you please tell me what items are in this package?
These are all the shell casings that I collected at the scene.
Your Honor, sorry, would you like me, can we approach?
Yes.
I'm sure, we just previously spoke about the envelope that these were in, the shell casings, but state exhibit number 49, is that envelope that contained these smaller packages?
Yes, sir.
And then we marked state exhibit number 50 through 65,
Correct.
and were these the smaller packages that were contained in state exhibit number 49?
Yes, sir, they were.
And were these items, things that you collected at the crime scene that day?
Yes, sir.
And you personally have inspected each of these bags or envelopes rather, state exhibit number 49 through 65, and they have the markings that you placed on them?
Yes, sir. They had my M squared with my badge number on it.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to see about opening state exhibit number 50.
This is there.
And is that something that you collected at the crime scene that day?
Yes, it's a shell casing.
Okay. And does each of these packages have shell casing in it?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, at this time, the state would have moved into enter state exhibit number 49 through 65.
Could I approach?
Yes. Oh.
Sir, you testified that you you recovered certain items that were, and you testified they've been marked
Yes, sir.
at the scene, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In every item that you testified thus far to, those items that you recovered yourself, no one else, you.
Myself, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, on those, and you put the items, did you put them in the small baggies that they're in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell whether those bags have been, strike that, when you place the items in the bag, were they sealed?
No, sir. I'm the one that sealed them.
You sealed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you sealed the items from the bag.
Yes, sir.
When you open them up, were they still sealed the same way they were when you last saw?
These have been, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. So no one has ever opened those, had disturbed, those bags are exactly the same way they were when you placed them.
Yes, sir.
So there's no other markings on the bag, no other signatures on those bags, except yours.
There's a There is another. The Bear County, I was just seeing right now, the Bear County,
At this
I
point.
guess, lab.
Well, I didn't ask you to read it. I'm just asking you, because that's important. Are they in the same exact condition they were when you sealed them?
Yes, sir. I mean, I put them in the bag and seal them. And then what the lab does with them.
All right. Are they any additional writings on those bags?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Did you put those writings on?
No,
those
sir.
bags? Okay. Were you present when those writings were placed?
No, sir.
So when you take the item, you seal them. Do you maintain custody of these items?
I turn them into the property room and the chain of custody goes from there.
Okay, so you don't keep them the whole time,
No,
correct?
sir. By the end of my shift, I turn them into the property room. And if the lab or a follow-up unit wants to check them out, then that's how they do the chain of custody.
Okay. I need to approach it.
Yes.
So with state offered, state exhibit number 50. It looks like it's number 50.
Yes, sir.
Agree with me.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a bag on state exhibit number 50 that you use, that you place the items into.
Correct.
And I believe you testified that some of this writing, is all this writing yours on this bag?
The one's my writing, my M squared on the back, on the evidence tape. That is not my writing in the red, nor that Bear County sticker on the bottom.
Okay. And that sticker you're talking about is additional tape.
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
So when my question to you earlier is that these bags are not in the same condition they were when you last saw
No.
them. Based, if I may, Judge, I have any other questions of him. Based on the answers that the witness gave, then I'm going to, I'll object because with reference to the bag, all the writings that are not his will be hearsay as to him. He doesn't know where that the writing came from. In terms of whether or not they were the actual same items, and those items have not been tampered with or something done to else unto him. You can't testify to that, Judge. So on that basis, I would object to the introduction at this point.
State.
Your Honor, the witness has testified that these are in fact the shell casings he collected at the scene. And the state's offering these items for that purpose.
All right.
And again, if I may, we talked about the bags themselves. In terms of what's in the bag, my position that witness can't, in terms of testifying to something that's not actually the shell casing themselves, not in evidence. So his ability to do that would he can't, and I don't believe there's been any testimony in reference to the shell casings themselves at this point. So I'll renew my objection. The chain of the proper foundation for the admissions of the item has not been established by the state.
All right. State's exhibits numbers 49 through 65 are admitted.
Thank you. Hey, published, Joe.
Yes.
State exhibit number 50. Is this one of the shell casings you collected at the scene?
Yes, sir.
And are all the shell casings similar to this shell casing?
Yes, sir. The Hornabies.
And as defense counsel pointed out in his board hire, you're not the one that tested these shell casings against the other shell casings.
No, sir. I collected them, packaged them, and put them in the property room.
That's not part of your duties or responsibilities to test anything,
No, sir.
just a collection.
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked state exhibit number 66. Can you please look at that item and tell me if you're familiar with it?
Yes, sir. This is the item I collected, E2, with for spent bullets.
And has it been opened?
Has not been opened. You can see my M squared on the tape.
If you don't mind, can you please go ahead and
Yes, sir.
open that envelope? Can you tell me if you would recognize the items that are inside that?
Yes, sir. There are 2 spent bullets that I collected at the scene.
And were these also depicted in the photographs that you actually have been entered into evidence earlier?
Yes, sir.
And at this time, Your Honor, the state would offer state exhibit number 66 and its contents will tender to defense for any objection.
You're gonna take the witness
Yes.
right there. And I need to approach.
Yes, you may approach.
Sir, I show you. Identify that safety exhibit number 66, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your testimony is that you. The items inside you packaged
Correct.
in the front part where it has a barcode.
Correct.
You produce that barcode yourself.
Yes, sir.
And as you examine that bag, there's no writing or anything else on that bag that you did not put on that bag, other than the
Right.
fixed exhibit.
Correct. Correct.
And it's fair to say that with this item, 66 hasn't been opened by anyone else.
Correct.
Okay. So now the items inside the bag, I think you testified that there were items that you recovered that appears to be some type of spent or projectiles.
Correct.
Okay. Now, and you located those items at the scene.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know from your personal knowledge how long those items had been on the scene and been on those locations?
I couldn't tell you that.
You couldn't.
No.
Could you, from your own personal knowledge, can you tell whether or not those items were there even prior to this shooting you were called out to?
I can't tell you how long they've been there, but they were there upon my arrival.
Right. So you don't know. They could have been there 2 weeks before. Correct? 6 months before. Correct.
Or 2 minutes before.
Or 2 minutes before.
Correct.
Or 2 years.
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor. I would object, there's no indication that they can establish any relevancy between state exhibit number 66 and the issue before this court, the crime before this court. It appears not to have been tested by him. So how do we have any type of connection, relevancy?
Could parties approach, please? All right. With regards to State's Exhibit number 66, defense's objection is sustained and that will not be admitted.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I'm going to hand you what's marked State Exhibit number 67. Do you recognize that envelope?
Yes, sir.
And is it an envelope that you used on February 28, 2022?
Yes, sir.
And do you know what contents are contained in it?
It's a Glock Austria 48, serial number BVDW 234 9mm.
And did you put that at the scene?
Yes, sir.
And can you please just open the bag? Just put it down. And is this the item that you collected at the scene?
Yes, sir.
The photographs and some of the photographs that are already entered in that.
Yes, sir, it is.
And did you mark that with a mark on it that you?
Got to mark my initials and badge number on the gun.
Is there any other contents in there?
Yes, sir. Be a magazine that I unloaded. And the bullets that were in the magazine.
Who approached it?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to be assured that the weapon that is being introduced, it has been made safe to be in the courtroom. So there is not a live round in it. It has been zip tied, and they're usually zip tied, so they're not able to function with the zip tie, and any bullets are separated. All right, State, you may proceed.
Sure, on that premise, did you make this gun safe?
Yes, sir. It's part of our job is to make the guns safe. The way we make them safe, we put this zip tie through them, we unload them, we double check them. We have a spot in our crime lab where if there is something in there, if it went off by accident, it would go off in this muzzle. And part of our criteria is to put unloaded, made safe. Unloaded, made safe. I wrote that on there because at the property room, they have to handle the guns. And it's kind of, they have to know that they unload the gun as a made safe. So the gun was made safe.
Your Honor, I would ask to enter state exhibit number 67 and its contents, and we'll send it to the defense for any objection.
Start taking my word.
Yes.
Now, sir, what's been marked as state's exhibit number 67. You indicated that you at one point you took photographs of it, correct?
Yes,
I mean the content, and you testified that you actually made it safe.
yes,
Correct.
sir.
Okay. Now, when you arrived at the scene, you weren't the first officer at the scene, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know how much time went by from the time the original call came out until you got there?
I got there pretty quick, but they dispatch patrol. Since it's downtown, we have a bike unit and we have officers already downtown to where they're the ones that get there. Once they determine what the case is, then they'll get on the radio and ask for crime scene investigators. So I'm not the first one there, and I couldn't tell you exactly the time. I would say anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes upon their arrival.
Okay. And when the photograph that you showed of take exhibit number 67, those photograph that you showed, do you know whether this weapon was in the original position, if it was in when the other officers arrived, or do you know?
The way I photographed the scene is how it appeared upon my arrival.
Okay, upon your arrival.
Yes, sir. You maybe check body cams on the officers, and that way you may be able to determine if it was moved or not.
Okay. Now, the bag that's exhibit number 67 was in, is all the writing on this bag your writing?
No, sir.
All the tape, the evidence tape on it, is all evidence tape that you placed on this bag?
No, sir.
Okay. So it would be fair to say that someone perhaps may have opened this bag out of your presence. It's fair.
After I submitted to the property room, I'm sure the crime lab went in there, got it, opened it, and did their lab work on the gun. And that's whose tape and initials you would see on there.
Okay. Your Honor, my objections to 67 and the contents would be the state having to establish the proper predicate for the introduction, the hearsay language on the bag, we're going to object to.
All right. The objection will be overruled. State's exhibit number 67 is admitted.
I'm going to show you what's marked state exhibit number. Uh, 26. Is this the same weapon that you collected on
Yeah.
that scene that was laying over that money by the backpack?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And which state exhibit number 68. Please tell me if you recognize that package
Yes, sir.
and you know what the contents are inside of that envelope.
Yes, sir. It's a item E20 that I collected, which is a firearm, magazine, and one live round.
And did you collect that from the scene that day?
Yes, sir.
And can you please just take the contents out and lay them on the counter there, please?
And before I do that, I made it, it's unloaded and made safe before I packaged it.
Thank you.
This is the weapon. You can see the zip tie going through there. And my initials are on the trigger guard. The magazine. And the live round.
How many light brown are there?
I want to say 2. Yes, sir. 2 live rounds.
And the magazine. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct? And these are the items that you collected from the crime scene?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask state exhibit number 68 to be entered into evidence with its contents, Your Honor, and will tender to the defense for any objections.
Can I take the witness on by there?
Yes,
Sir, with reference to state exhibit number 68, was that the that's actually the larger bag that you put the other items into, correct? The bag, could I approach him, Judge?
yes.
Please. Now, station number 68, the, that's the, is that the actual bag that you sealed up or no?
Yes, sir, it is. But this was from, I believe, Niven, where they studied the projectiles, the shell casings and stuff.
So you don't have any personal knowledge of that?
No, sir.
Oh. And could I post it?
Yes. Thus, I'm going to give you till
Okay,
Okay,
I can mark it in front of the jury.
yes, he's gonna mark it as,
And then offer it again.
yes.
Yeah, and I'm.
All
I'm not
right.
offering that box. Yeah, I did put it back in the bag. It's gonna.
Is everyone ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct.
All right, and with regards to 67 in contents, is that going to be? Because the defense didn't have any objection to it just being State's Exhibit 67 with contents, or did you want that marked individually as well, Mr. Cox?
That's been entered though. Yeah.
I know, 67 in contents,
Oh, yes.
67 and contest.
contents, yes, that was entered.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, all right, let's bring the jurors back in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So, I think previously we had marked state exhibit number 68 was the larger envelope that contained what I have now marked as state exhibit number 68A,
Correct.
68B,
Yes, sir.
68C,
Yes, sir.
and 68D.
Correct.
Can you tell me what 68A is
Yeah, the weapon I collected
at that scene?
at the scene. Yes.
And
Item 820, my evidence 20
then item 68B,
would be the magazine. That belonged inside.
okay, and then 68C
A live round,
and 68D.
a live round as well.
And these were collected at the scene.
Yes, sir.
And 68A, was that contained in the photographs?
Yes, sir.
I've got the photographs of state exhibit number 4, and state exhibit number 5.
Yes, sir.
And do the serial numbers match up?
Yes, sir, they do.
Okay, and that is in fact the same gun that you have a picture of here.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, the state asked to enter state exhibit number 68, 68A, 68B, 68C, and 68D.
Any objection?
Objection, Judge, and I would like to take the witness on by that.
All right, you may take the witness on board here.
Scott Coachman.
Yes.
Now, sir, with reference to the state exhibit 68, and I'm talking specifically about the bag. So now you agree that there's a lot of writing on the bag, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that writing you're writing?
Not all of it.
Okay. The writing that's not yours, were you present when that writing was placed on that bag?
No, sir.
The item that was in that bag, I think you identified as 68A. I'm sorry, not the writing, but the weapon that was in that bag, you identified as 68A, the handgun, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's over, so maybe you can hear me better. Did you remove that weapon from someone?
Probably collected it from the handling officer, the arresting officer.
Okay, so of your own personal knowledge, your best recollection is that you received that weapon from an officer, correct?
What in this circumstance, what usually happens is
No, I don't want to know what usually happens. I want to know what happened
on this particular day with this particular case?
I
Do
asked
you
where,
recall?
I asked where the weapon was. The arresting officer had it in his trunk, I believe.
Okay, so this weapon, that's 68A,
Yes,
you believe your best recollection comes from the trunk, out of the trunk of a police officer's car, correct?
yes, sir.
Now, it's fair to say that you didn't perform any type of testing on that weapon, did you?
No, sir.
And of your own personal knowledge, it's fair to say that you can't state whether that weapon has anything to do with this case on your own, based on your own personal knowledge.
Just the weapon I collected at the scene.
Okay. When you say collected at the scene, you say that was given to you by another officer, correct?
I asked where the gun was and they told me
Well, I don't want to know what he said to you, but I'm saying you
I collected it at the scene
from another officer
in the trunk of a car.
in the trunk of a car.
Yes,
Okay. Which officer's car? You remember which car you got it out of?
there's so many officers there, I couldn't
You know,
tell you. We'd have to look at their body cam and stuff.
and the items, you'd approach again.
Yes.
So the same goes for State's Exhibit number 68B,
The magazine,
correct? State's Exhibit 68C
live round,
and State's Exhibit 68D.
live round in the chamber.
Okay. And the 68D, C, B have writing on those items that don't belong to you, any of them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will object based on the state inability to establish relevancy as to those items to this case at this point.
All right, state.
Your Honor, Commissioner Machado, the CSI at that time testified that he collected this weapon from the scene on the February 28, 2022.
Oh.
And I believe it's relevant because it is a weapon that was found at this scene and additional to the other items found at the scene, which were shell casings.
All right, with regards to State's Exhibit 68, the envelope, what is the objection to that defense?
In my objection to that one, Judge, is that is hearsay the items
No, let's just deal with the envelope first.
the envelope, the writing on the envelope. There's a lot of writing that said, so it makes statements about certain things.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but at this particular time, the state will withdraw State Exhibit number 68 for emitting at this particular time, Your Honor.
All right, and just State's,
Offering State Exhibit number 68A through D.
all right, then State's Exhibit 68 is withdrawn. Any objection to it being withdrawn? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, State's Exhibit number 68 is withdrawn. With regards to State's Exhibit 68A, defense, what is your objection?
My objection to is that the state haven't established the relevance that weapon to this case.
All right, with regards to State's Exhibit 68A, that objection will be overruled. With regards to 68B, C, and D, what is your objection?
Same objection, relevancy, and then there's hearsay information on those items because his witness has testified that there's writing
on those items, on those exhibits that he didn't personally place on them.
All right. State, what is your response to 68B, C, and D?
68B, Your Honor, Mr. Chada has testified that that is a magazine that was collected with the gun at the time at the scene on February 28, 2022.
All right. And with regards to 68C and D?
I'm sorry. Same thing, same thing. Those are the contents of those. He testified that those are the bullets that were found with the gun and on the scene on February 28, 2022. Your Honor.
All right. With regards to State's Exhibit 68C and D, the objections are overruled. State's Exhibit 68A, B, C, and D are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's show what's marked State Exhibit number 4. Got a hurry here. State Exhibitor 68A. Is that the same serial number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I want to show you what's been marked State Exhibit number 69. Do you know what that is, sir?
Yes, it's a gunshot residue test.
And that's a gunshot residue kit. Can you explain to the jury what a gunshot residue is?
What a gunshot residue test is, it's a little packet, has a questionnaire on there. You ask the suspect or person you're going to perform the gunshot residue test on. And there's 2 little tabs, one for the left hand, one for the right hand. And you basically tab, if anybody's fired a gun and there's any gunpowder residue, it'll come out. What I do is I collect that, I submit it, put it in the property room, and the lab will do their forensics on it to see if there is actually any residue that came back.
Now, you're not responsible for doing the testing of that,
No, sir.
and you don't know the dynamics and the analysts or anything of that nature.
No, sir.
Did you perform the GSR kit test on the defendant in this case?
This GSR test I performed was on Joseph Dale Harris.
Objection. Could we approach it?
Yes.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. And so you performed the GSR, I'm sorry, gunshot residue test kit, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you perform it? Do you recall where you performed it at? Was it out in the field or was it in the office?
It would have been there at the scene.
And do you remember personal knowledge of who you performed that on?
Well, there's a whole questionnaire that I asked them. It's in the
Objection.
GSR kit.
Well, at this point, you always have that he's questioned here, which would indicate that there was questions. And therefore, we ask that that a predicate be laid for it.
All right. That objection will be overruled. He hasn't presented any hearsay yet.
And this questionnaire that you would ask an individual do you ask the individual that you're performing the test on?
Yes, sir.
And was that individual at the scene?
Yes, sir.
And so to do the gunshot residue kit, do you have to have the subject present with you?
Yes, we do.
And you ask them certain questions.
Yes.
What type of questions would you ask them?
Name, date of birth, hobbies. Are they currently working? And there's a bunch of different questions like, are they alive? Are you right-handed, left-handed, stuff like that?
And that's for to lay the foundation to do the gunshot residue kit.
Yes, sir.
And I think you stated sort of an odd question, if they are alive or not. If you ask that
Right.
question, why is that on there?
Anytime we go to a suicide or any type of shooting where there's a dead person, we go ahead and do a gunshot residue on them. And then try to ID them by they have a picture ID. But that's why we ask, the questionnaire on there, and they ask you on the questionnaire, are they alive or are they deceased? And that's why we do them on deceased people.
So for the name that you have on this gunshot residue kit that you obtained at the scene that day, would you have spoken to the person that you obtained that gunshot residue kit from?
Yes, sir.
And would you have gotten his name from, or him or her name from that individual?
Yes, sir.
So who was that individual?
Objection.
What's
Now
the
we get
objection?
into the question.
No.
Well,
So what is your objection,
my
counsel?
objection, Judge, if this witness is going to go into questions that were asked.
All right, everyone approach. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a 15-minute break and then we're going to come back and continue and finish this witness. All right. Remember my previous instruction. Everybody, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right. if there is going to be any questions or issues about a statement that somebody wants to suppress the statement, that needs to be addressed early on, and it should have been addressed early on if there's a motion to suppress statements. So what we're going to do is questions are going to be asked of this witness, and whatever objections anyone has, you need to raise them now. State, ask your questions.
Did the subject that you obtained the gunshot residue kit from and performed that kit on give you his name?
Yes, sir.
What was his name?
Joseph Dale Harris.
Very good, Judge. That's pass the witness.
And is there going to be any other questions other than that one question?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, you have questions.
Sir, when those questions when that question was asked of my client, was he being detained or was he in handcuffs?
I'm not sure. I don't remember at the time, but if they are, we usually have them remove the handcuffs and the officers stand around while we perform it.
To do the testing?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay. Did you, before you spoke to him, did you Miranda?
I did, but I'm sure the arresting officer did. I don't do them around.
Okay, you don't know.
But I just tell them when we do the GSR, we have a questionnaire. And if they refuse to answer, we just put NA or refused.
But my question to you is that, did you Miranda?
I did not. No, sir.
No. So the question.
I'm not a peace officer.
Well,
I'm a crime scene investigator.
I didn't ask you.
I'm
whether
just
you-
telling you, I'm
All
not.
right, time out, stop. Everyone. There needs to be a question and an answer, then a question and an answer. You cannot be talking over each other because the court reporter cannot take it down. We are going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, everybody needs to keep it at this level. All right, so we're going to take a 5-minute break and we will pick it up from there.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Get some more.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, State, you may proceed with your question.
Yes, Mr. Machado, the gunshot residue kit. Did you ask the name of the individual that you performed that test on?
Yes, sir.
Like, what was that name that he gave?
I renew my objection, Judge, based on the safe not establishing a proper foundation.
All right, the objection will be overruled. You can answer the question.
Joseph Dale Harris.
Thank you. Passive witness, Young.
All right, defense.
Oh, yeah. It's the same one that was
Sure.
before.
You're right. Sir, you know, you've been testifying for for several minutes, I guess. And I just want to go over a few things. You were called out to the scene. Do you recall approximately what time you arrived at the scene?
Without looking at my report, but I would say 15:08 hours.
Okay. So is that like 3? Is that 3:08?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
3:08. Okay. Were you able to determine how long after the initial event that you arrived?
I couldn't tell you offhand.
Okay. All right. Now, there were placards that were
Yes,
placed
sir.
On this scene. Were you one that actually placed those placards there?
Yes, sir, I am. And there's also other officers or detectives at the scene with me, finding things or pointing out items. We try to do is kind of keep them in order to where you don't have one here, then like 30 next to it and 2 way down the street. We kind of try to keep them in order. And there have been times where later on we'll find something else, like by number 2, and then that might be a number 30 or something.
Okay.
But we try to, we're searching the scene for items of evidence. And we put the placards down. Sometimes the handling officers, when they first get there, they'll put little business cards. They'll fold them, and then when I come in, I'll put the actual numbers.
Okay, so when you arrived at the scene, sometimes we call it police tape or the evidence tape. That area is already established.
Yes, sir. It should already be secure by the time we get there.
Okay.
The patrol officers carry that crime scene tape.
Okay, and there's a reason why that area is taped off, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the reason why the area is taped off?
To preserve any items of evidence so nobody tampers with anything, steps on stuff, or even a car driving over it.
And it's fair to say that that area is restricted in terms of who goes in, who comes out, once that you establish that scene.
Yes, sir.
So you arrive in I believe that all the placards are all numbered, and your testimony is that every placard that was placed at the scene that day were actually placed by you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, it's fair to say that you may receive information from a sales detective, an officer, in terms of locating something that may be of evidentiary value.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were someone else taking photos, or did you?
I took all the
All
photos.
the photos.
Someone else did a video of the scene.
Okay.
One of my coworkers.
Do you recall how many photographs you?
I want to say 98 photographs.
Now, with reference to the actual work that you do, do you make a determination in terms of whether an item has some type of evidentiary value to it, before you say take a photograph of it or put a placard, or just someone else make that determination and you just follow their directions? How does it work?
No, the crime scene, we're trained to look for evidence, items of evidence, and we determine that. And again, somebody else might say, hey, there's a casing over here. And in that scenario, then, okay, this officer found it or whatever. But it's usually the crime scene unit that does that.
Okay. Now, as you collect items, it's fair to say that you mark items.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And once those items are marked, and those items are taken by you, those items are placed in, most times in some type of container, either paper.
Yes, sir.
Or something. Now, this is done in terms of the packaging. When you package items, is that packaging done at the scene itself?
No, sir. It's what I do once I collect everything. And once we clear the scene, that there's no more items to be collected, I'll return to our crime scene lab, our evidence lab, and I'll package them and seal them there.
Okay. Okay, so the packaging and the sealing is done at a different location.
Well, I put stuff in an envelope, and that envelope won't get sealed until I get back to the office. But it's already pretty much packaged. It's just not sealed.
Okay, so it's packaged, not sealed.
Yes, sir.
In terms of, say, interviewing anyone, those types of things, you're not involved in that?
No, sir. Just the GSR. That's the only time we ever have any contact as far as questions.
And once you recover items, just like, say, in the case, say, a revolver or a pistol, do you do any investigation on those items themselves?
No,
Right.
sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just the serial number and the actual writing on the gun is the main thing we're looking for. I'm not doing any type of ballistic testing on anything. It's just identifying that exact gun. We've had guns before that try to scratch out the serial numbers. So that would be a distinct mark as well, but that's mainly what we're looking for when we collect the weapons.
And once those items are removed by you, they're transported by you.
Yes, sir.
Correct. And you maintain custody. It's fair to say you maintain custody of those items until they're placed in some type of secure container or facility.
The way it works is these barcode labels. I print that up, I mark it on the evidence, and I put all my evidence. We have secured lockers because the property room, sometimes I won't be done. The scene could have been at 3. I don't get home till 9, 10 o'clock at night. The property room closes at 5. So we have these secured lockers where we put all my items from this one case, and let's say locker number 74. The next morning, the property room, that's their first stop. They open them, they do all the barcode labels. That way they know who collected what, who put what, where.
Okay. Good, and it's fair to say that sometimes you may collect an item that may not have any evidentiary value to a case.
Yes, sir. The motto of the evidence unit, crime scene unit, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's our motto. So there's been many scenes where we collect stuff because we'd rather have it in case we need it later. You never know.
I'll pass with.
All right, state.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excuse from the state.
Subject to it.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for the state or the defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Just make sure you're available if you're recalled.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you. And if defense and state, if you can approach, please. State, call your next witness.
State calls Jolie Emler.
All right, if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, have a seat. Make sure you keep your voice up so the members of the jury can hear and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name and spell it, please.
Jolie Imler, Joliemler.
All right, state.
Jolie, who do you currently work for?
The city of San Antonio.
And what do you do for the city of San Antonio?
I'm a crime scene investigator,
And how long have you been a crime scene investigator?
12 years.
And what type of training did you have to go through to become a crime scene investigator?
I went through a 400-hour academy and ongoing training.
And have you been a crime scene investigator with the city of San Antonio that entire time?
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. Were you working on February 28th of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Did you have to respond to a shooting on that day?
Yes.
Where did you respond to?
203 South St. Mary's.
And when you arrived at the scene, were you the only crime scene investigator at the scene?
No, sir. CSI Machado was there as well.
And when there are multiple crime scene investigators at a scene, do you guys all do the same thing or do you split responsibilities?
We split the responsibilities
And on this day, what was your primary responsibility?
to do a video of the scene.
And why would you record a video of the scene?
To document the scene, just to have something other than photography.
Mars States Exhibit number 70. Do you recognize this?
Yes,
What is it?
it's a video of the scene.
And have you had an opportunity to watch this video?
Yes,
And have you made any type of markings on the disc?
yes, I put my initials and badge number on it.
And is it fair to say that the video on this disc is a true and accurate copy of the crime scene video you recorded on that day?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, state would offer State's Exhibit number 70. That's for inspection.
Who approached it?
Yes.
We pass the witness, Judge.
Defense?
Okay, just a couple questions, ma'am. Do you recall approximately how long you were at the scene?
I believe a little over an hour.
An hour in your sole duties at that time? You didn't do any markings and didn't collect anything with just the video?
I assisted in searching the scene.
I'm sorry.
I assisted in searching the scene for evidence.
Okay. Were you a part of placing any placards down or anything like that?
No,
Okay. Did you retrieve any items yourself?
no, sir.
I pass words.
Any other questions?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Not from the state, Judge.
Defense?
I have nothing further from her, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. That means you cannot discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state or the defense. You may step down. State, call your next witness.
State calls Michelle Gibson.
Judge, can we have one moment?
Yes. Take a seat here. Let's have a seat there. All right. Is this your witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so members of the jury and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record and spell it.
Michelle Gibson, Michellegibson.
State.
Michelle, who do you currently work for?
Via Metropolitan Transit,
And how long have you worked for VIA?
2 years.
And what do you do with VIA?
I am over the video records department and I'm also custodian of video for VIA.
What does that mean?
Custodian of video means that basically every video that's saved, requested from enforcement agencies or internal, that we save all the video and I'm overseeing those videos.
So would you be the person that actually makes copies?
Yes.
And let's get right into it. So I'm going to approach with what's been marked as state exhibit number 71. What's inside state exhibit number 71?
That's a flash drive.
And this flash drive, do you recognize it?
Yes, sir.
Where do you recognize it from?
I recognize it from coming to view the video here. at the DA's office.
And did you mark this flash drive in any way?
Yes, I did after I viewed the video.
How did you mark it?
I marked it with my initials with the ink pen.
And so the video that's contained on the flash drive, have you had an opportunity to watch it before you watched it off of this flash drive?
Yes, sir.
Where did you watch it?
At VIA in my office.
And so was this coming from the VIA records?
Yes, it's coming directly from the bus. That flash drive that you have is coming directly from VIA records.
So you've had an opportunity to watch the video on the flash drive, correct?
Yes.
Is it the same video that you watched from the VIA records?
Yes, sir.
Has it been altered in any way?
No, sir.
And what video does this, what video contained on this flash drive? What's the picture there?
A shooting.
And when did this shooting occur?
Shooting occurred on February 28th, 22. Is that correct?
And where did the shooting take place?
St. Mary's and Market.
Is there a VIA bus stop at that location?
Yes, sir.
And what time? Do you remember?
I want to say it was probably in the 11 o'clock, I think 11:22 to 11:26 to be exact, I think.
And has this video been altered in any way from what's on VIA system to what's on this flash drive?
No, sir.
Your Honor, state would offer the contents of state's exhibit number 71.
Any objection?
Energy defense for inspection.
No objections.
All right, so that the record can be clear, state you're offering state's exhibit number 71, is that correct?
Yes, in its context. Yes.
All right, would you mark that then maybe as 71A?
Yes, Judge, I'm just trying to avoid marking, covering up any of the markings in this.
Okay, no, I mean with the drive.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. There's just a matter that we need to see if it works properly, okay? All right, remember my previous instruction. Everyone, please rise. All right, everyone, please be seated. And so, I believe where we left off, we had offered state exhibit 71, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any objections to state exhibit number 71?
No objections.
All right, then state's exhibit number 71 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
Pass the witness.
Defense.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I just want to ask you a few questions if I can. Now, you testified that you're the custodian of all the, I guess, the video.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you get a request, okay, is that request, when I say a request to provide video, you would get it from a police or some type of agency, correct?
Correct.
Is that in terms of, did you get a subpoena, did someone call you, did you do it, how is that done?
No, we take all video requests through email only.
Okay. So when a request is made, is if there was a request of, is it made on for a specific bus or a specific route at a certain time? How is it done?
So it can all depend. If it's coming from law enforcement agencies, most of the time they won't know the bus number. They won't know route information. They'll just give us the street intersection, the time that it occurred. And then we find the bus information and we find everything that we need to gather the video. So it just depends.
Okay, so when you So in terms of the, I guess, the fact finding this information or if I can call it that. You go back and you play videos from certain buses until you find the right one. How is that done?
No, we request a download depending on the time. The law enforcement agency normally gives us a time range. So we'll go ahead once we find the bus and order video according to that time.
So, and sometimes the buses run pretty rapidly on the, especially St. Mary's and say Commerce, or even on Market. Do you cross section or try to say in this particular case, you get a time period, you're looking at an exact time. Do you go and see whether you have information on more than one bus with reference to an incident?
Yes, like with this incident, it's a lot of buses, like you said, going between St. Mary's and Market. So we'll go in and we'll pretty much do a zoom in just to that area, depending on the time frame he gave us. To say like maybe 3 buses come by, we'll go ahead and order video for all those buses, and then we'll go ahead and look for the incident. The requesters are really good with letting us know what they're looking for. We'll go ahead and look for the incident so we can pick out which bus it happened on. They do give us descriptions of the suspects and also the victims if needed, so that we can go ahead and identify them in the video. Once we find that accurate footage, we'll go ahead and save it, and then we'll go ahead and send it off to the requester.
Okay. So with your job, I would imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is it more than one person that helps you with this, or you're the only sole person that does it?
Right now I have 2 staff, so it's myself and my 2 staff.
Okay. So if, say for instance, a bus was and I'm not quite sure what number bus this was, but say there was a bus that would, right before this bus went by that location, would you have pulled that information from that bus too, or no?
If it was a bus right there at the same area and we did not have the bus information or the route number, we would pull video from that bus just to determine which bus had the incident recorded on it.
Okay. So say you wanted to find out what happened, say, a minute prior to that bus coming down. So there was another bus that was in front of it, say a minute in front of it. Would you have pulled that information on that bus?
It just depends. Every situation is different. I can't answer yes or no because every situation is different. Requests are different. So we could and we couldn't, depending on how the requester requested the video. Depending on how much information they gave us, depending on what all we had to look for. It's just a lot of factors to answer that question.
Okay.
Correct.
So when you were looking at this particular situation, do you recall whether you made requests of other videos from other buses in the same area at the same time, and looked at that information?
Yes, that's true. With this one here, we actually received the report. So this one here was already completed before anybody requested it. So with the report we received from the actual operator on this bus, we didn't really have to do anything. We know the bus number, we knew everything. So we just ordered the video based off of his report. So it wasn't that we had to go in and find any other buses or anything like that. We had the exact information. So we went right in to get the video.
So if there was, so basically, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, on this case, since the operator, I guess he tagged it or did something to inform you all that this was an issue, your work wasn't as expansive as it would normally be. Looking for yourself, he kind of told you what you needed to look for.
Yes, it's different with receiving reports because we get the direct information from the operator. Now, after we get the report, law enforcement agencies for this case and similar cases, they request information, but by us already saving the video, if they don't have any bus numbers, route numbers or anything, we have everything with the report. So we'll just forward them on the video number. So it's nothing that needs to be done when the video is requested.
So it's fair to say that there was no request of any other bus other than the bus that we're looking.
That I don't know. I will have to go back through the records to see. That's in 2022. So I will have to go back through my emails and see who all requested that video. So that I can answer.
Okay. But it's not necessarily who all requested it. My question goes to whether there was a request of any other videos from other buses in the area at the same time or shortly before or shortly after.
That I wouldn't know. I would have to go look at my emails to see the request. To see if we received any requests, rather.
Okay. So if you didn't receive a request for any additional information, you would have not, that's something you would have not done on your own.
Correct. Correct. All video that we view, it has to be requested. We don't go in and look at any footage. It has to be requested from somebody in order for us to pull it.
The Thea buses, do they have a GPS system with on them?
Yes, if you look on the camera, you can see the map in the left corner. Shows you the GPS, and also latitude and longitude at the top right also shows you the GPS.
So every bus in that, it's fair to say that at any given time, Thea would know the exact location of all the buses.
Correct.
So if we had a situation where there was a Via bus that came down and it was St. Mary's, South St. Mary's, and that bus was 30 seconds in front of the bus that we're looking at. Via has the technology to determine if there was another bus 30 seconds ahead of this bus when that video was taken.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll pass with
State.
Nothing from the state.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
subject recall.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you can't discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state or the defense. Just make sure you're available if someone decides to recall you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
State, do you have another witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, call your next witness.
Michael McDowell, Your Honor.
And off the record. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our last witness for the day. Since we're close to 5, by going forward with this witness, you will avoid rush hour traffic. Okay. All right, sir, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah,
Okay, all right, you can lower your hand. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Michael McDowell.
All right, state.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDowell, nice to see you today.
Yeah.
You know why you came down here today?
Testify as a witness.
Yes, and to testify to witness to a shooting, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. And so is this about a shooting that happened, do you recall the date?
It was on Monday back in February.
And like about over a year ago, is that
Over a
right?
year ago, yeah,
Would February 28, 2002 be accurate?
yeah,
Okay. And you've,
22,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
2022,
And you've spoken to me before about this case. We've met
yeah,
and a couple times to be exact. Is that right?
yeah,
Okay. And you made a written statement that you gave, or rather, a written statement, the officers typed up for you,
yeah,
and then you signed off on it. Is that right?
yeah.
I'm going to show you a copy of that. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yeah,
Okay. And did we go over that statement? Times that we've met?
yeah,
Okay. And then we also have gone over video.
yeah,
And do you recall if you saw yourself in that video?
yeah,
And did you view that video?
yeah,
And does that video accurately show what happened that day?
yeah,
Okay. And so these ladies and gentlemen to your left, which is called the jury,
yeah.
can you tell me what were you doing on that day on February 28, 2022, when you witnessed the shooting?
I went on the bus to take some aluminum cans.
Okay. And in the video that you saw,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have those aluminum cans in?
A black plastic bag.
It was a pretty big bag.
Yeah,
Okay. And where were you standing?
I was standing right at the edge, against the bridge.
The bridge?
Yeah,
Okay. And what happened at that point? Did you, before you witnessed the shooting, did you witness anything happening at the bus stop?
yeah. This guy came up from Market,
Mm-hmm.
and at first the two guys came up. Then this guy came up from Market and started arguing with the two guys, telling him to stop texting him.
Okay. And there was an argument between the two.
Yeah,
Well, the person that walked up from Market, what did he look like, if you recall?
he was Hispanic.
Was he tall or short, fat or skinny?
He was skinny.
Okay. And what about the two other gentlemen that you mentioned that he was arguing with? What did they look like?
They were heavy set,
And were they black, Hispanic, or white?
black.
And how long was the argument that you can recall?
It lasted for about 2-3 minutes.
Okay. And then what happened at some point? Did you ever see anything that the Hispanic male did?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Where one of the guys walked up to it saying, come here, come here, come here.
Mhm,
And he kept, the Hispanic guy backed up.
mhm.
And the other guy tried to walk up to him and he pulled the gun out.
Okay, and real quick, who pulled the gun out?
The Hispanic guy.
Hispanic guy?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did he do with that gun when he pulled it out?
He was pointing toward the ground saying, don't come up on me.
Okay, and what did the individual that was approaching him do?
He backed away.
And was that one of the black gentlemen that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
The Hispanic guy put the gun back in his pocket and started walking back towards Market. And that's when the guy took out his own gun and shot him.
Okay, and so let me ask you, the Hispanic male that put the gun back in his pocket, did he back away or did he turn around?
He turned around.
So was his back towards the black gentleman
Yeah,
and he started walking away from that area?
yeah,
And then the black gentleman that he was speaking to, is that when you say, is that the black gentleman that took out a gun?
yeah.
And what did he do with that gun then?
Shot 5 shots. I heard 5-6 shots.
Mhm.
Shot
like 6 times in the back, time, well, 4 times in the back and twice in the head.
Okay, so you're stating that was the black gentleman, was he standing still or was he approaching the Hispanic male?
They're like you were running after him.
Running after him?
Yeah,
And what was the black male, was he I guess firing the weapon, or was he just running after him?
firing the weapon.
Firing the weapon?
Yeah.
And what did the Hispanic male do when the black male was firing at him?
I guess he tried to run
Did he try to run towards the black male or away from the black male?
away.
And was he able to run away from the black male?
No,
What happened to the Hispanic male?
he fell to the ground.
And what did the black male do that was shooting at him?
He pocketed his gun and told one of the workers to call the police.
Well, let me just rewind just a little bit. Did the black male continue to shoot at the?
Objection leading.
I'll rephrase the question, Your Honor.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor. The black male, what did he do when the Hispanic male fell down?
He put his gun back in his waist, back in the waistband.
And what did he do after that?
He told one of the guys that was working, I guess he was a painter, to call the police.
Okay, and then what did the black male do after that?
We waited on the police.
And did the police arrive?
Yeah,
And did they detain that individual that shot the Hispanic male?
yeah.
At this time, I'm going to show you, is this a state exhibit? 70, I'm sorry, I'm going to show you what's marked state exhibit number 71. If you look at that screen to your right,
Mhm.
this, I'm sorry to pause it, but just for the record, to be clear, we're showing a big picture and the only camera we're showing right now is camera number 8. I'll pause it at 11, 24, and 18 seconds. On this frame of the video that's frozen or paused at this particular moment, do you see yourself?
Yeah.
And where are you standing?
I scanned against the well.
Okay, and I'm gonna come up here just to. Can you point out on your screen where you're standing, sir? Okay, so you're standing right there in the middle of the screen, leaning up against the rail. Is that
Yeah.
correct? And next to you, what is that?
My cans.
And those cans are the cans you're going to recycle.
Yeah.
Okay. The person standing directly in front of you, it looks like, I think it's all black. I'm colorblind, so that individual, who is that?
That's the guy. That's the Spanish guy.
Okay. And then do you see anybody else in that frame?
Yeah, the one who shot him.
And is that, I'm putting an arrow, is that the individual that you're saying shot him?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever move from that location during this shooting?
No.
Now I see that I paused it at 11:24 and 23 seconds. You stated in earlier testimony that the Hispanic male backed away.
Yeah,
Is that indicated in the video?
yeah,
And that you're saying they're having, I think you stated an argument, is that correct?
yeah.
Okay. What is the individual that is the black male that shot the Hispanic male doing?
He was saying, come here, come here. Motioning towards him.
What is the Hispanic male? I'm sorry. I paused it at 11:24 and 26 seconds. What is the Hispanic male doing right now?
He reaching his pocket. Like he reaching his pocket.
Right here?
Yeah,
And what does he have in his pocket? Do you recall?
a gun.
What do you do with that gun at this point?
He was pointing toward the ground.
At the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the black male, indicated the shooter? What was he doing?
Back, like he was backing away.
Okay. And it looks like here, do you see the Hispanic male, what is he doing with his arms?
He was putting gun back in his pocket.
Okay. So he does not have the gun in his hands? Do
Objection leading.
No,
That'll be sustained.
you know where his gun is?
it's in his pocket.
Thank you. And at this point, do you see can you see the gun that the Hispanic male had? Can you see it anywhere?
No,
Now, on this particular frame, 11:24 and 39 seconds, I paused it.
yeah, he was walking away.
He was walking away,
Yeah,
and you testified earlier, he turned his back to
yeah,
the shooter.
yeah.
And so where's the black male?
Right there, on the bench.
Right here?
Yeah,
So earlier, was that black male next to you?
no,
Well, earlier in the tape, when he was in this area?
yeah.
Objection leading.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Okay.
Now that means the guy put his gun out.
Okay, so that's 11:24 and 40 seconds. I
Yeah.
paused it. The Hispanic male, do you know where his gun is at this point?
In his pocket.
And is he facing
No,
the defendant?
No.
No,
facing away.
facing away.
Yeah,
And what is the black male doing now?
shooting him.
And is he advancing towards?
Objection leading.
I haven't finished my question.
All right, I'll hear the question, then I'll hear your objection.
Is he advancing towards the Hispanic male?
All
Yeah,
right, just one second, I'm sorry. Your objection will be sustained.
What is the black male doing?
it looked like he was running towards him, and he started shooting.
And on that portion, is that what you remember seeing that day?
Yeah, you see.
I'm going to show you the camera number 11,
Yeah, okay.
and it's at 11:22 and 32 seconds, but I'm going to fast forward it. To 11:23 and 49 seconds. I'll ask you to watch this. Okay. Can you see yourself on this?
Yeah,
And where, can you point out where you were located?
right here. Right
there?
Yeah.
And defense, you're allowed to move it throughout.
Thank you.
You're located right, I think you pointed right here, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've witnessed this video before, is that correct?
Yeah.
Did you see the black male in this video?
No.
Okay. Do you see the black male in this video?
Yeah.
And can you please point him out? And when I'm up here, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Okay, where is he at?
He's
Right there?
right there.
Okay, and then where is the Hispanic male?
Right here.
And where are you?
Right here.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna pause it at 11:24:24 seconds. I'm gonna be pointing, I have an arrow over this individual that's sitting on a bench.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that individual, if you know?
I guess that's the guy's friend.
And you say guy's friend, what do you mean by that?
Cause they were together.
And who's they?
They came up at the same time.
Okay. Let me ask you, the black male that was the shooter,
Mm-hmm.
did he walk up with anybody?
Just him.
And I'm sorry, can you just point him out? Is that the individual right here?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And is that the individual that you saw that day?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you what's Mark State Exhibit number 72.
Mm-hmm.
Could you recognize that?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, are your initials on it?
Yeah.
And so you've seen this before.
Yeah.
And can you identify yourself in this right there?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you identify the person that you saw shooting the Hispanic male? And you're identifying by pointing at that individual at this point?
Yeah.
And do you see the Hispanic male that was shot in this photo?
Yeah.
And do you see this the black male that was with the shooter?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just like a screenshot of the video that we just watched.
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we'll state rules the under state number 72 and the evidence will send it to the defense for any objections.
to approach.
Yes. States Exhibit 72 is admitted.
I'm just gonna throw this, may I publish?
Yes.
Well, actually, I'm just gonna publish. We'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Could we approach briefly?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 5-minute break. If you need more than 5 minutes, you're more than welcome to take more than 5 minutes. We're going to finish with this witness. Then I'm going to release you all for today and we'll come back tomorrow. And tomorrow I have an idea how long I anticipate the trial will last. Remember my previous instructions. Everyone, please rise for the jurors.
Man.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. McDowell, I'm going to McDowell.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. All right. I'm gonna ask you a few questions sorry. I'll ask you a few questions. If every time where you don't understand the question, I'll repeat it. Or you can't hear me, I'll try to speak loud, okay?
okay,
Okay. Now, the prosecutor asked you to identify things from the video you
Yeah.
just saw, correct?
yeah,
Have you seen this video before?
yeah,
How many times?
twice,
Okay. So when you saw this video, did you see it with the prosecutors
yeah,
and they showed it to you?
yeah,
All right. When they were showing you the video, did they let you look at it and ask you to tell them what you saw? Or
Yeah. yeah,
you gotta wait on my question. Or did they point out things to you to tell them about?
yeah,
They did both.
yeah,
Okay. Now, you testified that you gave on the day of the incident, you gave a statement to a detective.
yeah,
Okay. And in the statement that you gave, I think the prosecutor showed you a copy of it, correct?
yeah,
Okay. Now, the statement was something that is fair to say is typed out, correct?
yeah,
Okay. You didn't do the typing yourself.
no,
You know how to type
a little bit,
a little bit. You know how to type a little bit. Okay. So you spoke to the detective, and after meeting with that detective, one of the detectives, as best you know, did they do the typing? Did they type the statement out for you?
yeah,
Okay. And then after they took this, they made the statement, then they asked you to sign.
yeah,
Okay. Now, on that day, February 28th, I believe you testified that you were on the sidewalk near where the river kind of runs in under,
yeah,
and you were you waiting for the bus?
yeah,
Okay. What bus were you waiting?
42,
So you didn't catch the 42, and that 42 was gonna take you where?
to River City Steel and Roosevelt,
Okay. So that the bus just takes you there. You don't have to transfer. It's a straight one bus takes you there.
yeah,
Okay. Do you recall approximately what time it was in the morning or in the afternoon?
in the morning, late morning,
Okay, it was a late morning.
yeah,
Okay. You say maybe around 11 or later,
around about 11 o'clock,
around about 11 o'clock.
yeah,
Okay. Now, do you recall how long were you waiting out there for the bus before the shooting happened?
maybe about 5-10 minutes.
Okay, so your testimony, you had only been out there about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to actually to get to that location where you were you transferred from another bus?
No, I was walking
So
from
you-
market.
Oh, you walked from Market
Yeah.
to St. Mary's,
Yeah.
so you can catch the bus on St. Mary's, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, prior to getting to the location that you were at, would you show us in the video, kind of standing near the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any of the individuals that you pointed out, either the person that did the shooting, the friend he was with, or the Hispanic guy?
I saw all of them.
Okay, now prior to your getting it,
Oh, I saw the Hispanic guy on market because I walked past them.
okay,
Yeah.
so you had seen the Hispanic guy early,
Yeah.
okay, and you saw him on Market.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you saw him on Market, was he, do you recall, was he waiting on a bus or just walking, or do you remember what he was doing?
He was walking.
He was walking.
Yeah.
Okay. In what direction was he walking?
It looked like he was walking back towards main plaza.
Okay. And that would be in the opposite direction
Yeah.
of St. Mary's, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you saw him walking, do you recall whether he said anything to you, you said anything to him?
No.
Was it anything unusual about him that kind of brought your attention to him?
No.
Okay. Now, in that area on Market, or when you say that where you saw him, is that the area where they have like several places where you can catch the bus?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you saw him, you walking one direction with your cans,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
And he's walking the opposite direction.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that close to 11 o'clock, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So you passed him, and at that point you continue to walk towards St. Mary's?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, had you ever seen this guy before? This
No.
Hispanic guy? You've
No.
never seen him before.
No.
So at this point, in that area on Market, do you recall whether or not you saw the two black guys?
They were coming down St. Mary's towards the bus stop.
Okay, so as you were walking towards St. Mary's on Market,
Mm-hmm.
you said that they were coming from, they were actually on St. Mary's walking?
Yeah.
Okay, now, you're familiar with St. Mary's?
Yeah.
Okay, St. Mary's kind of runs what, north-south?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's fair to say if you're walking down on Market, if you're at St. Mary's, if you took a left on St. Mary's, that would be going north
Yeah.
towards like the Greyhound bus station.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you made to the right, then you'll be going south, and that's where the shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now with those reference points, the when you say you saw the two black guys,
Yeah.
where were they walking? What direction were they walking?
South.
So they were walking south. Did
Yeah.
you see them actually cross Market?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see them, the two black guys that cross Market, and was it anything unusual about them that drew your attention to them?
No.
No. Okay. And they're pretty much minding their own business.
Yeah,
Okay. And maybe fair to say, having some conversations.
yeah.
Okay. So when you get to, you're walking, I guess, at that point, that's north on Market. When-
East.
I'm sorry, when you're walking east on Market,
Yeah.
okay, that's correct. I'm sorry. You're walking east on Market.
Mhm.
When you get to St. Mary's, where are the two black guys?
They got there by maybe about 3 minutes after I got there.
Okay, so they're in front of you.
They came after I got there.
Okay, they came after you got.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out when you said you saw them walking on St. Mary's, so you saw them after you had gotten to your spot where you were standing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the two black guys, when they walked down St. Mary's,
Mm-hmm.
you're already standing where you're standing in the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you say anything to them, or do they say anything to you?
We don't speak.
Okay, y'all don't speak?
No.
Okay. I mean, when you say y'all don't speak, you mean y'all didn't speak to each other, didn't say anything to each other?
No.
Okay. No head nods or anything like
No.
that? Okay. So the two black guys, they actually passed you where you were standing.
Yeah.
And then what did they do?
They sat down
They
on
both-
the bench, both of them.
Both of them sat down.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, were you kind of like paying attention to what they were saying or doing, the two black guys?
No.
Okay. So at this point, when they sat down, is the Hispanic male, is he anywhere around?
No, he came by. No, that the Hispanic male came around there about maybe 2-3 minutes later.
Okay, about 2-3 minutes later. Now,
Yeah.
this time, the two black guys already seated,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
You at the location where you're at,
Yeah.
correct? And the two black guys, they're on a kind of like a bus bench or
Bus
something.
bench. Yeah.
Correct. And they're talking, correct?
Yeah.
Or minding their own business.
Mind their own
You're
business.
minding your own business.
Yeah.
Okay, so here comes in 2 or 3 minutes later, the Hispanic guy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What direction is he coming from?
Market.
So he's coming from Market. The same where you had seen him earlier, a
Yeah.
few minutes earlier, correct?
Yeah.
But he was at that point, he was walking the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so at this point, he as a Hispanic, a guy, he guess he's on Market. Then he turns in to go down South St. Mary, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Does the Hispanic male, does he pass your position where you're standing?
No.
Or he doesn't get that?
No.
Okay. Now, at this point, at some point, are there words between the Hispanic guy and the black guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who could you determine who initiated the conversation?
The Hispanic guy.
Okay, Hispanic guy. At this point, the Hispanic guy, he's further away from these two would be to your left.
Yeah.
Okay. So is he saying something or yelling something?
He's saying something.
Okay. when you say saying something, is he talking in a tone like you and I are talking, or is he a little louder?
In a tone like me and you talking.
Okay. Now, but in terms of and you, at this point, you're on the outside,
Yeah,
and there's some people, but it's cars coming by
yeah.
and stuff like that. Is the noise level a little higher than it would be like, say, in this courtroom? I'll put it this way, would it be easier to hear me and you talking at this distance?
Yeah.
Okay, but out there with the traffic and the noises, you would have to speak a little louder, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now, how far is, if your position is where you are, and you're standing where you were standing on the photograph, on the video,
Yeah.
and I'm rising up, how far is the Hispanic guy this far away from you?
He like, can they say between me and her?
Okay, so the Hispanic guy is that close to you?
Yeah.
Could I approach?
Yes.
Okay, now, in terms of, if the Hispanic guy is that close to you, how far of the black guy?
By the same distance.
They're the same distance as the Hispanic guy is from you?
Yeah.
Okay, but in the same direction or different direction?
Same direction.
So the Hispanic guy is here. Your testimony that the black guys are here too?
The black guy is standing by 5 feet away from me.
About this distance, a little closer.
That distance.
About this distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're close enough. Well, that's standing, but where would the black guy sit? How far away from you? And you can look at me, and I'll back up, and you give me an idea of the distance between you and the black guy. I mean, between you and where the black guys will sit. Is it further
Right.
away?
No, closer.
About here?
Closer.
A little close.
Right there.
About this far.
Yeah.
Say maybe 15 feet, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. But the Spanish guy is close.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you hear, based on your statement, you hear the Hispanic guy say something
Yeah.
to you. Now, and he says something in, based on your statement, he isn't saying something to you.
No.
He's closer to you,
Yeah.
but he says something towards the black guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And did he say something like, hey, stop texting me or anything like that?
Yeah. Said stop texting me.
Did the black guys initially react to it or respond to it?
Yeah.
Okay. And based on your statement, then the Hispanic guy, okay, now when he says stop texting, does the Hispanic guy do anything like with his hands or anything at that point?
No, just said stop texting. Tell him stop texting him.
Okay,
Stop texting me.
okay, stop texting. All right.
Yeah.
And do you recall the next thing you heard the Hispanic guy say?
Yeah, just said stop texting him.
And what else?
Stop texting me. Stop texting me.
He said it more than once.
Yeah.
Did he say it loud?
No.
Okay. Did he say it with a firmness?
With firmness. Yeah.
Did it appear to you that he said it like he was upset or angry or something like that?
He wasn't angry.
But did it appear to you that how did it come across?
You said in a firm tone.
In a firm tone,
Yeah,
okay. And did he say anything based on your statement, like stay off my block?
yeah,
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 stay off my block.
Yeah.
Okay, you hear this, you hear the stop texting me, and then the next thing is stay off my block.
yeah.
Okay, and does that appear strange to you? Somebody saying that?
Yeah.
Did when he says stay off my block, did the black guys react to it? Did they do anything, say anything at that?
No.
No. Okay. Did he say stay off my block more than once?
Just one.
Okay, and then once the Hispanic guy says stay off my block, did the Hispanic guy do something? Did he move or did he do something at that point?
Yeah. He had his gun out.
Okay. Okay. Top approach witness.
Yes.
So when he has his gun out, how close is he to you?
He was
Let me know. I'm gonna walk towards you. You tell me. Stop.
like
About
that close.
that close to you.
Yeah.
So at this point, are you alarmed? When somebody pulls out a gun, are you alarmed?
No.
Okay. So to you, it's just another day in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay. So to you, if somebody pulls out a gun, says, tell my block, then that's doesn't mean anything.
No.
Got our asked and answered objection.
All right, that'll be overruled.
All right. So when he pulls a gun out, you're closer to him, correct?
Yeah.
Can you determine what type of gun?
It was like a semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic. How approach again?
Yes.
And you could actually see the Hispanic guy with the gun, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know whether the gun looked anything like this?
Yeah.
It during your conversations with in the DA's office when they were going over the videos with you,
Yeah.
did they ever show the gun? Did they ever show your gun?
No.
No, they didn't show you gun. So the gun is pulled out. And when the gun is first pulled out, where are the black guys?
One was sitting down. Oh, sorry.
One was sitting down
Yeah.
and one was
Standing.
standing up. Okay. Could you tell at that point when the Hispanic guy pulls a gun, could you tell whether the gun was loaded or not?
No.
No. And when, do you recall whether you said at one point the Hispanic male pointed a gun at the ground?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you recall him ever holding the gun up, waving it or anything?
no,
Do you recall the black guys ever at this point, once the gun was shown or the Hispanic male had the gun out, how did the black guys react? Or do you remember?
they he backed up, backed away.
Okay. And you say that you could see the Hispanic male looked like he put the gun in his pocket.
Yeah,
Okay. But at one point, as you say he turned, but the Hispanic male turn away from you.
yeah,
So his back was turned towards you.
yeah.
Okay. At that point, could you see his hands? When his back was turned towards you, could you see his hands?
No. Yeah, I can see his hands.
From his back?
Yeah,
Okay, you can see his hand.
yeah,
Okay. And when his back was turned towards you, you could still see his hand.
yeah.
Were you able to determine whether the Hispanic guy, did you ever see him with a telephone?
Sorry?
A telephone, a phone?
No,
No. Okay. Pass with.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. McDowell, do you know where this Hispanic male lives?
no,
Okay. And do you know if this Hispanic male knew the two black males?
no,
So you have no clue about their history, if there was a history that of knowing each other?
no.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or
Miss-
subject for recall?
Subject.
Uh,
Subject.
All right, the rule has invoked. That means that you can't discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state or the defense. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop for today. We're off the record. We're going to start tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So we can't start unless everybody's here. I do have one case that's being recalled back from my docket this morning, but that's going to be at 9. So we'll be ready to go at 9:30. The parking garage, you should be able to find a spot in there because jurors from the central jury room are not called up on Fridays. So there should be a space for you in there. You've heard some evidence in this case. You're not allowed to watch anything about this case. If you see anything about this case, you're to ignore it. You're not allowed to talk to anybody about this case. And if somebody tries to talk to you about this case, let them know that you're on the jury and you're not allowed to speak to them about this case. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand? All right. And then tomorrow I'll have a better idea of when I expect this trial to end. Okay. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.